Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama, Hare
Ram.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna,
Tell me fast. I'll show you. I'll show you
Ram,
after
Ram
me.
Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री साधु गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Rama Hare
Ram Ram Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Advaita Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Raju Prabhu, Lalit Mohan Prabhu, Samyukta Mataji, Tulsi Mataji, Lavanya, Danda Pranam, all glory to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Let us begin with Mangala Charana prayers. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mama Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chalakaya Chaksharanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे पाञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, So we are reading from, today we are going to read from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Last time we read up to 10 chapters, Adilila 10 chapters, the trunk, branches and sub-branches of the Chaitanya tree. It was a very big chapter actually. So we completed and we reviewed with the Subodhini book. So now we'll go to chapter 11. That is the title, entitled like The Expansions of Lord Nityananda. The Expansions of Lord Nityananda. Okay, so let us go through it. Let's read. Yes. The expansions of Lord Nityananda, as the branches and sub-branches of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were described in the 10th chapter. In this 11th chapter, the branches and sub-branches of Sri Nityananda Prabhu are similarly listed. Very good. So here we see how Nityananda Prabhu spread the holy name. So with the help of different personalities, it treated as branches. Okay. So Mataji, please begin. Since Deepa Mataji is away and she's traveling to UK for 20-25 days. So let us start with the Samyukta Mataji. Start.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After offering my obeisances unto the all devotees of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who are like bumblebees collecting honey from his lotus feet, I shall try to describe those who are the most prominent.
Go ahead, read.
All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anyone who has taken shelter at his lotus feet is glorious. All glories to Sri Advaita Prabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is the topmost branch of the indestructible tree of eternal love of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the sub-branches of the topmost branch.
Yeah.
Sri Nityananda Prabhu is an extremely heavy branch of the Sri Chaitanya tree. From that branch grow many branches and sub-branches.
Heavy branch, extremely heavy branch. Nityananda Prabhu, let's see.
Extremely heavy branch. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tulasi Mataji, you want to read? Thank you for
Yes,
joining.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
1 second. Yeah. Watered by the desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, these branches and sub-branches have grown unlimitedly and covered the entire world with fruits and flowers. These branches and sub-branches of devotees are innumerable and unlimited. Who could count them? For my personal purification, I shall try to enumerate only the most prominent among them. Papa Chayal Prabhuji. One should not write books or essays on the transcendental subject matter for material name, fame, or profit. Transcendental literature must be written under the direction of a superior authority because it is not meant for material purposes. If one tries to write under superior authority, he becomes purified. All Krishna conscious activities should be undertaken for personal purification. Apna sodhite. Not for the material gain.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Sandhya Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. After Nityananda Prabhu, the greatest branch is Veerabhadra Goswami, who also has innumerable branches and sub-branches. It is not possible to describe them all. Purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura writes in his Anubhasya, Veerabhadra Goswami was a direct son of Srila Nityananda Prabhu and a disciple of Jahnava Devi. His real mother was Vasudha. In the Gaura Ganodesha Deepika 67, he is mentioned as an incarnation of Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. Therefore, Veerabhadra Goswami is not different from Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In a village of the name Jamatapura, in the district of Hugli, Veerabhadra Goswami had a disciple named Yadunatacharya who had two daughters, a real daughter named Srimati and a foster daughter named Narayani. Both these daughters married and they are mentioned in the Bhakti Ratnakara 13th wave. Veerabhadra Goswami had three disciples who are celebrated as his sons, Gopijana Vallabha, Ramakrishna and Ramachandra. The youngest Ramachandra belonged to the Sandilya dynasty and had the surname Vatavyala. He established his family at Kadadaha, and its members are known as Goswamis of Kadadaha. The eldest disciple, Gopijana Vallabha, was a resident of a village known as Lata near the Manakara railway station in the district of Burdwan. The second Ramakrishna lived near Maladaha in a village named Gayeshapura. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura notes that since these three disciples belonged to different gotras or dynasties and also had different surnames and lived in different places, it is not possible to accept them as real sons of Veerabhadra Goswami. Ramachandra had four sons, of whom the eldest was Radha Madhava, whose third son was named Yadavendra. Yadavendra's son was Nanda Kishora, his son was Nidhi Krishna, his son was Chaitanya Chandra, his son was Krishna Mohana, his son was Jagan Mohana, his son was Vrajanatha, and his son was Shamalala Goswami. This is the genealogical table given by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura for the descendants of Veerabhadra Goswami.
Yeah. Thank you, Mother. Yes. Prabhupada referred that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati has written the lineage, genealogical of Veerabhadra Goswami. Sequentially is written. Yes. Yeah. Lavanya, you want to read?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Although Veerabhadra Goswami was the supreme personality of Godhead, he presented himself as a great devotee. And although the supreme Godhead is transcendental to all Vedic injunction, he strictly followed the Vedic rituals.
Go ahead.
He is the main pillar in the hall of devotional service erected by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He knew within himself that he acted as the Supreme Lord Vishnu, but externally he was prideless. It is by the glorious mercy of Sri Veerabhadra Goswami that people all over the world now have the chance to chant the names of Chaitanya and Nityananda. I therefore take shelter of the lotus feet of Veerabhadra Goswami, so that by his mercy my great desire to write Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita will be properly guided.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Lalit Mohan Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna. Translation. Two devotees of Lord Chaitanya, named Sri Ramadasa and Gadadhara Dasa, always lived with Sri Veerabhadra Goswami. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sri Ramadasa, later known as Abhirama Thakura, was one of the 12 Gopalas or covered boys of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. The Gauraganadesha Deepika states that Sri Ramadasa was formerly Sri Rama. In the Bhakti Ratnakara, 4th wave, there is a description of Srila Abhirama Thakura. By the order of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Abhirama Thakur became a great acharya and the preacher of Chaitanya cult of devotional service. He was a very influential personality and non-devotees were very much afraid of him. Empowered by Sri Nityananda Prabhu, he was always in ecstasy and was extremely kind to all the fallen souls. It is said that if he offered obeisances to any stone other than a Shaligram Sila, it would immediately fracture. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, right in his Anubhashya, 10 miles southwest of Champadanga, Champadanga railway station on the narrow gauge railway line from the Howrah in Calcutta to Amta, a village in Hooghly district, is a small town named Khanakula Krishnanagara. Khanakula Krishnanagara, where the temple in which Abhiram Thakur worshipped is situated. During the rainy season, when this area is inundated with water, people must go there by another line, which is now called the Southeastern Railway. On this line, there is a station named Kolaghat, from which one has to go by steamer to Rani Chaka. 7.5 miles north of Rani Chaka is Khanakula. The temple where Abhiram Thakur worshipped is situated in Krishnanagar, which is near the Kula bank of Khana, Dwarakeshwara river. Therefore, this place is celebrated as Khanakula Krishnanagara. Outside of the temple is Bakula tree. This place is known as Siddha Bakula Kunja. It is said that when Abhiram Thakur came there, he sat down under this tree. In Khanakula Krishnanagara, there is a big fair held every year in the month of Chaitra, March to April, on the Krishna Saptami, the 7th day of dark moon. Many hundreds and thousands of people gather for this festival. The temple where Abhiram Thakur worshipped has very old history. The deity in the temple is known as Gopinatha. There are many Sevite families living near the temple. It is said that Abhiram Thakur had a wick and that whoever he touched with it would immediately become an elevated devotee of Krishna. Among his many disciples, Sriman Srinivas Acharya was the most famous and the most dear. But it is doubtful that he was his initiated disciple. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Raju Prabhu.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ. సిద్ధ బకుల అంటే ఇక్కడ పూరిలో ఉంటుంది కదా ప్రభుజీ? పూరిలో కూడా మన మామాచారి హరిదాస్ ఠాకూర్ జపం చేసిన ప్లేస్ పేరు. హరే కృష్ణ
ప్రభు వినిపిస్తుంది హరి బోల్.
యా ప్రభుజీ, అదే లలిత్ మోహన్ ప్రభుజీని అడుగుతున్నాను. మీరు ఇద్దరు సిద్ధ
బకుల ట్రీ అంటే అదొక ట్రీ ప్రభుజీ. దాని కింద ఎవరైతే బాగా ఇది చేస్తారో దాన్ని సిద్ధ బకుల అని అంటారు ప్రభుజీ. It is not only specified to Haridas Thakur, but Haridas Thakur has done a lot of japa over there. So that place is also known as Siddha Bakula. Wherever you find a Bakula tree and some people chanting over there or doing some meditation over there, is known as Siddha Bakula.
Okay.
అర్థమైంది ప్రభుజీ?
Yeah, అర్థమైంది.
There is Siddha Bakula and Puri where Haridas Thakur chanted. And the same Siddha Bakula is there where Abhiram Thakur also chanted here in the Krishna Nagara Kali, in the Khanakula Krishna Nagara. Akkada.
Okay.
Correct. Yes, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. Translation. When Nityananda Prabhu was ordered to go to the Bengal to preach.
This one only, no? Okay.
I think.
Yeah. Quoting. Chadan.
Translation. When Nityananda Prabhu was ordered to go to the Bengal to preach, these two devotees, Sri Ramadasa and Sri Gadadhara Dasa, were ordered to go with him. Thus, they are sometimes counted among the devotees of Lord Chaitanya and sometimes among the devotees of Lord Nityananda. Similarly, Mahadava Gosa and Vasudeva Gosa belong to both groups of devotees simultaneously. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhashya, there was a place named Dhanihata near the Agra Dvipa railway station and particularly in the district of Burdwan, where the deity of Sri Gopinathaji is still situated. This deity accepted Govinda Gosa as his father. Even until today, the deity performs the Shraddha ceremony on the anniversary of the death of the Govinda Gosa. The temple of this deity is managed by the Rajahamsha family of Krishna Nagara, whose members are descendants of Raja Krishna Chandra. Every year in the month of Vaishakha, when there is a Bharadola ceremony, this Gopinatha deity is taken to Krishna Nagara. The ceremony is performed with the 11 other deities And then Sri Gopinath ji is brought back to the temple in Agradeepa. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Akincham Prabhu, you have sent a message. Yes, shown your hearing mode. Thank you. I am
I
asking.
can read, Prabhuji, one sloka, I think.
Go ahead,
You
read.
can read for some time. Yeah.
Read.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ramadasa, one of the chief branches, was full of fraternal love of Godhead. He made a flute from the stick with 16 knots. Sri Gadadhara Dasa was always fully absorbed in ecstasy of as the gopi. In the house, Lord Nityananda enacted the drama Dhanakeli. Sri Madhava Gosa was principal performer of Kirtana. While he sang, Nityananda Prabhu danced. When Vasudeva Gosha described Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda while performing Kirtan, even wood and stone would melt upon hearing it.
Yeah.
There were many extraordinary activities performed by Murari, a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sometimes in his ecstasy he would slap the cheek of the tiger, and sometimes he would play with the venomous snake. Purport: Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhashya, Murari Chaitanya Dasa was born in the village Sar Vrindavanapura, which is situated about 2 miles from Galasi station on the Budwan line. When Murari Chaitanya Dasa came to Navadvipa, he settled in the village of Mudadruma or Mamagachi Grama. At that time, he became known as Saranga or Saranga. Shranga or Sharanga Murari Chaitanya Dasa. The descendants of the family still resides in Sarera Pata. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat Antyal Khanda, chapter 5, there is a following statement. Murari Chaitanya Dasa had no material bodily features, for he was completely spiritual. Thus, he would sometimes chase after tigers in the jungle and treat them just like cats and dogs. He would slap the cheeks of the tiger and take a venomous snake on his lap. He had no fear for his external body, for which he was completely forgetful. He could spend all the 24 hours of the day chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra or speaking about Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. Sometimes he would remain submerged in the water for 2 or 3 days, but he would feel no bodily inconvenience. Thus, he behaved almost like a stone or a wood, but he always used his energy in chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. No one can describe his specific characters, but it is understood that wherever Murari Chaitanya Dasa passed, whoever was present would be enlightened in Krishna consciousness simply by atmosphere he created.
Yeah, beyond the bodily level. The description says its body is spiritual. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you.
Monain or Lavish Prabhu, thank you for joining. Please go ahead and read, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Lavish Prabhu.
Driving today, sir.
Prabhu, driving, huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
You want to read? Prabhu, since you are in driving, it's okay. Okay, I will read. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the associates of Lord Nityananda were formerly cowherd boys in Rajabhumi. Their symbolic representations were the horns and sticks they carried. Their cowherd dress and the peacock plumes on their heads. Purport: Jahnava Mata is also within the list of Lord Nityananda's followers. She is described in the Gaura Ganodesha Deepika 66 as Ananga Manjari of Vrindavana. All the devotees who are followers of Jahnava Mata are counted within the list of Sri Nityananda Prabhu's devotees. Prabhu's devotees. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have a question.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, like so Nityananda Prabhuji also is the follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right, Prabhuji? Because I didn't read the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita, so I have this question. So sometimes they say like followers of Nityananda Prabhu and followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and in one of the book I read like followers of Nityananda Prabhu are called this one. So could you please explain, Prabhuji?
Question ఏంటి అసలు? Not getting that. ఏం అడుగుతున్నావు అసలు? Lord Nityananda Prabhu followers. See, now this chapter is talking about the extremely huge branch of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That means the personalities here we are discussing or we are going through these pages is about the associates of Lord Nityananda Prabhu to spread this Hare Krishna Mahamantra far and wide with him. So yeah, Nityananda Prabhu followers means this entire chapter talks about this one. It talks about the followers of Nityananda Prabhu.
Yeah,
That's
I know. Yeah. It's like it says associates and followers. Both are same, like here.
Yeah, see, as the branches and sub-branches of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 10th chapter discussed. Okay, in the 11th chapter, branches and sub-branches of Sri Nityananda Prabhu are primarily listed. Associates, followers, it's like I don't know exactly what is the difference, but they follow Lord Nityananda Prabhu and spreading this movement. That's what I know.
Yeah, I know. Like after Nityananda Prabhu, Janava Mata, she is the leader for this Sankirtana movement. But like followers means it's it coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? The followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Mataji, if I can clear you.
One second, Prabhu. Okate branch kada. It's a big branch, right?
Yeah.
What is that big branch? Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So extremely sub branch. In one of the big branches is extremely sub branch Nityananda Prabhu.
Yeah.
Chaitanya Prabhu, see, what is the tree? Chaitanya tree, na? How are you serving? Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? In serving in the same personality. That's the thing. Okay, I had Prabhu.
Mataji, both are same, Prabhuji. Mataji, one word answer. But why it has been given separately? Because Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya, after going to Puri, he ordered Nityananda Prabhu to expand this movement. So then there are many devotees who didn't associate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but then, came into Krishna consciousness, came into this movement. So they are only stick to the Nityananda Prabhu.
Okay. There is no association with Chaitanya directly.
No. Directly with Nityananda Prabhu, they got associated, and that's how they got preached.
Okay.
So these devotees are actually followers of Nityananda Prabhu more than the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's what it is said, Mataji.
Because in one of the like it's nectar of instruction or nectar of devotion, they say like followers of Nityananda Prabhu, they titled as something. That's what I got the doubt. Yeah.
Actually, what happens is like in our Vraj Leela also, both have two different parties. The Saka friends of Gopal, Balram is different actually.
Yeah.
So different parties are there. So those people, they have taken part in this. They directly got connected to Nityananda Prabhu.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Mother, please go ahead. Samyukta Mata, let us read another 10 minutes and wrap up.
Yes, Prabhuji. The physician Raghunatha, also known as Upadhyaya, was so great a devotee that simply by seeing him, one would awaken his dormant love of Godhead. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Sundarananda, another branch of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, was Lord Nityananda's most intimate servant. Lord Nityananda Prabhu perceived the life of Rajabhumi in his company. Purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura writes in his Anubhashya in the Chaitanya Bhagavata, Antyakanda, chapter 5, it is stated that Sundarananda was an ocean of love of Godhead and the chief associate of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. In the Gaura Ganodesha Deepika 127, he is stated to have been Sudama in Krishna Lila. Thus, he was one of the 12 cowherd boys who came down with Balrama when he descended as Sri Nityananda Prabhu. The holy place where Sundarananda lived is situated in the village known as Maheshapura, which is about 14 miles east of the Majadiya railway station of the Eastern Railway from Calcutta to Burdwan. This place is within the district of Jessore, which is now in Bangladesh. Among the relics of this village, only the old residential house of Sundarananda still exists. At the end of the village resides a Bhaula, Shudo Vaishnava, and all the buildings, both the temples and the house, appear to be newly constructed. In Maheshapura, there are deities of Sri Radha Vallabha and Sri Radha Ramana. Near the temple is a small river of the name Vetravati. Sundarananda Prabhu was a Naishtika Brahmachari. He never married in his life. Therefore, he had no direct descendants except his disciples. But the descendants of his family still reside in the village known as Mangaladhihi in the district of Birbhum. In that same village is a temple of Balrama, and the deity there is regularly worshipped. The original deity of Maheshapura, Radha Vallabha, was taken by the Saidabad Goswamis of Berhampur. And since the present deities were installed, a Jamindar family of Maheshapura has looked after their worship. On the full moon day of the month of Magha, January to February, the anniversary of Sundarananda's disappearance is regularly celebrated, and people from neighboring areas gather together to observe this festival. Hare Krishna.
Another 30 minutes.
Oh, 10:30.
Yes. Thank you, Mata. Yes. Tulsi Mata, Sandhya Mata, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Waiting for me.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Kamalakara Pipalati is said to have been the third Gopala. His behavior and love of Godhead were uncommon, and thus he is celebrated all over the world. Purport. Srila Bhakti Vedanta Saraswati Thakura writes in his Anubhyasa in the Gaura Ganodesha Deepika 128, Kamalakara Pippalai is described as the third Gopala. His former name was Mahabala. The Jagannatha deity at Mahesha in Sri Ramapura was installed by Kamalakara Pippalai. This village of Mahesha is situated about 2.5 miles from the Sri Ramapura railway station. The genealogy of the family of Kamalakara Pippalai is given as follows. Kamalakara Pippalai had a son named Chaturbhuja, who had two sons named Narayana and Jagannatha. Narayana had one son named Jagadananda, and his son's name was Rajivalochana. During the time of Rajivalochana, there was a scarcity of finances for the worship of Jagannatha deity. And it is said that the Nawab of Dhaka, whose name was Shah Suja, donated 1,185 bighas of land, about 395 acres, in the Bengali year 1060 AD 1653. The land being the possession of the Jagannatha, the village was named Jagannathapura. It is said that when Kamalakara Pippalai left home, his younger brother Nidhipati Pippalai searched for him, and in due course of time found him in the village of Mahesha. Nidhipati Pippalai tried his best to bring his elder brother home, but he would not return. Under these circumstances, Nidhipati Pippalai, with all his family members, came to Mahesha to reside. The members of this family still reside in the vicinity of the Mahesha village. Their family name is Adhikari, and they are a Brahmana family.
Yeah,
Shall I
Mata.
continue?
Yeah, continue, complete it.
The history of the Jagannatha temple in Mahesh is as follows. One devotee of the name Dhruvananda went to see the Lord Jagannatha, Balaram and Subhadra at Jagannath Puri, wanting to offer food to Jagannathaji that he had cooked with his own hands. This being his desire, one night Jagannathaji appeared to him in a dream and asked him to go to Mahesha on the bank of Gangas and there start worship of him in a temple. Thus, Dhruvananda went to Mahesha where he saw the three deities, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Subhadra, floating in the Gangas. He picked up all those deities and installed them in a small cottage. And with a great satisfaction, he executed the worship of the Lord Jagannath. When he became old, he was very anxious to hand over the worship to charge of someone reliable. And in a dream, he got permission from Jagannath Prabhu to hand it over to a person whom he would meet the next morning. The next morning, he met Kamalakara Pippalai, who was formerly an inhabitant of the village Kalijuli in the Sundaravana forest area of Bengal and was a pure Vaishnava, a great devotee of Lord Jagannatha. Thus, he immediately gave him charge of the worship. In this way, Kamalakara Pippalai became the worshipper of Lord Jagannatha, and since then his family members have been designated as Adhikari, which means one who is empowered to worship the Lord. These Adhikaris belongs to respectable Brahmana family. 5 types of upper class Brahmanas are recognized by the surname Pippalai.
Very well. Thank you,
Thank you, Prabhuji.
New things, yes. Tulasi Mata, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yande Aisarbata, Netskone. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Simple.
Suryadasa Sarekala and his younger brother Krishnadasa Sarekala both possessed a firm faith in Nityananda Prabhu. They were a reservoir of love of Godhead. Purport. In the Bhakti Ratnakara, 12th wave, it is stated that a new miles from Navadvipa is a place called Shaligrama that was the residence of Suryadasa Sarekala. He was employed as a secretary in the Muslim government of that time and thus he amassed a good fortune. Suryadasa had 4 brothers and all of whom were pure Vaishnavas. Vasudha and Jahnava were 2 daughters of Suryadasa Sarekala.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Lavanya, you read this one and purport first paragraph. Go ahead, quickly.
Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Gauridasa Pandita, the emblem of the most elevated devotional service in the love of Godhead, had the greatest potency to receive and deliver such love. Purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tagore writes in his Anubhashya, it is stated that Gauridasa Pandita was always patronized by King Krishnadasa, the son of Harihota. Gauridasa Pandita lived in the village of Saligrama, which is situated a few miles from the railway station Mudagacha, and later he came to reside in Ambika Kalana. It is stated in Gaura Ganodesha Deepika 128 that formerly he was Subala, one of the cowherd boyfriends of Krishna and Balrama in Vrindavana. Gauridasa Pandita was the younger brother of Suryadasa Sarakela, and with the permission of his elder brother, he shifted his residence to the bank of Ganges, living there in the town known Ambika Kalana. Some of the names of descendants of Gauridasa Pandita are as follows: Sri Nrsimha Chaitanya, Krishnadasa, Vishnudasa, Bada Balaramadasa, Govinda, Raghunatha, Badu, Gangadasa, Auliya, Gangarama, Yadavacharya, Hridaya, Chaitanya, Chanda, Haladara, Mahesha Pandita, Mukutaraya, Bhutaya Gangarama, Auliya, Chaitanya.
Okay.
Kaliya Krishnadasa, Batuya Gopala, Bada Jagannatha, Nityananda, Bhavi Jagadisha, Raya Krishnadasa, and Annapurna. The eldest son of Gauridasha Pandita was known as Big Balarama and the youngest was known as Raghunatha. The sons of Raghunatha were Mahesha Pandita and Govinda. Gauridasa Pandita's daughter was known as Annapurna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur written Anubhashya. So, Prabhupada is referred and given these names. These are the personalities, these are the personalities in the Lord Nityananda Prabhu. They helped different ways and means. Complete this one. I'll ask other Chandramal Prabhu to read next verse, then we'll conclude. Complete this.
The village Ambika Kalana, which is situated just across the river Ganges from Shantipura, is 2 miles east of the Kalana Korta railway station on the Eastern Railway. In Ambika Kalana, there is a temple constructed by the Jamindar of Budwan. In front of the temple, there is a big tamarind tree, and it is said that Gauridasa Pandita and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met underneath this tree. The place where the temple is situated known as Ambika, and because it is in the area of Kalana, the village is known as Ambika Kalana. It is said that the copy of Bhagavad Gita written by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu still exists in this temple. Hare Krishna.
Ambika Kalana. Okay. Interesting. Jai. Thank you. Prabhu, we are all read once. Mata is twice. Chandraman Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, read some of this thing and we'll wrap.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Making Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda the lords of his life, Gauridasa Pandita sacrificed everything for the service of the Lord Nityananda, even the fellowship of his own family. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The 13th important devotee of Sri Nityananda Prabhu was Pandita Purandara, who moved in the ocean of love of Godhead just like the Mandara hill. Purport. Pandita Purandara met Sri Nityananda Prabhu at Kadadaha. When Nityananda Prabhu visited this village, he danced very uncommonly, and his dancing captivated Purandara Pandita. The Pandita was in the top of a tree, and upon seeing the dancing of Nityananda, he jumped down on the ground and proclaimed himself to be Angada, one of the devotees in the camp of Hanuman during the pastimes of Lord Ramchandra. Hare Krishna.
I'm just checking, Prabhu. Yeah, it's a big Prabhu. We'll do it tomorrow. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, and appreciate your joining every day. Yesterday, one milestone, 1 year completed for our readings. And again, I'm saying in this call, at dust of all of your wonderful devotees, please give us your association, at least for my purification. So this is a seriousness in reading. It improves my seriousness in reading Srila Prabhupada books, actually. No, I read on and off, but consistently I took this, activity. I want without fail every day, try to read, try to touch these pages of scriptures. Say Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So far we have completed 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11 chapters, and Chaitanya Charitamrita we are going to complete in next couple of days. So completed, but we feel that it's associating with Krishna, associating with various personalities in Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading means we are reading with Srila Prabhupada. We are reading with Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is with us in his purports, explaining different things. So please continue and give us your association, and let us regularly read and get benefit each other. We get that fruit of devotional service, understandings. Of course, clarifications we needed. We have to approach seniors. Here Laltman Prabhu is there, and I know whatever I can explain, and we can approach Leela Prabhu and seniors. So it's a continuous reading. While reading, we get the different doubts. We get the clarifications. So please, thank you for joining every day. I'm very happy actually for doing this activity. Even the wherever I am situated, that doesn't matter. But let us continue in this service of reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And again, grateful to all of your Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Please give us continuous. We get mutual inspiration when we join in these calls. It's a different level. One-to-one reading is different. Person to person, own self reading is different. In a group, reading is different. We get mutual inspiration. So again, thank you very much, Kinchan Priya Prabhu, Chandravalu Prabhu, Lalman Prabhu, Lovish Prabhu, Mataris, Samyukta Mataji, Raju Prabhu. You are the first. You are there in the chant with family call and Veda reading club always. And I really appreciate it. Without options, if you are not joining, means I feel something better. What happened to this Prabhu? Where is he? We both see these pictures. Your Radharani picture from Metpalli temple, and my wife also same picture, Radharani's picture from the other temple. So thank you, Raju Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your association. And
yeah,
it's very difficult, Prabhuji. Every day managing, like sometimes we can like from your side also it is like
difficult. Difficult only, but we have to put.
There are many. Joining is easy for Prabhuji. Joining is easy, but coordination is very difficult. For every day you will call like.
That's there. It's okay, but but we our mind says that canceling this thing, but we just have to continue. There are many ways to save time, right?
Yes,
there are many ways to save time and get this association. We can do the, of course, important works when and sometimes you manage the call. Sometimes Deepa Mata managed call when I was traveling, and in this 1 year time frame. Right. Thank you so much again, and we are learning this anchor slokas. So that is very important activity to relish, and how are we going to recite these prayers of great personalities, great devotees of the Lord.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your association. I just came home.
Thank you all.
1 year, I didn't understand how 1 year we have finished. I don't know.
Time is flowing. It's just flown. It's like Galiland is like time. We are getting every day. We are getting old. Also, we have to seriously think about that also.
అప్పుడే 1 year అయిపోయిందా అనిపిస్తుంది. లైక్ మొన్ననే స్టార్ట్ చేసినట్టుంది. బట్ ఇట్స్ వెరీ యూస్ఫుల్ ఫర్ మీ, లైక్ గెట్టింగ్ అసోసియేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ wonderful devotees and learning new things day by day. It's very
especially
appreciated.
Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, not thoroughly read actually. I mean, at least page by page. But this call helps what exactly there inside, and what exactly various pastimes, various things in these scriptures. On and here and there, I have read some, but not in a sequence regularly, right? So
please pray that 10 more years it should pass like this, because for Bhagavatam to get completed, 13 years it will take, Prabhuji, in the pace which we are going. Yes, really.
Let us pray, intensely pray, and we'll see how our bodies are going to change. We won't stop this. Okay, let us see how. Let us intensely pray to Lord Krishna and Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, to give that same motivation and continue in this service of reading Srila Prabhupada books and his purports. Yeah. We don't need to be discouraged. We have to continually. I mean, actually, don't need to look at back, but Nirantarayanga, we have to continue. Right? No need to stop.
No, it will continue, bro. It will continue. Ups and downs comes, but still it will continue. That's how it is. We should pray and that we should complete this somehow. That's what.
We'll do that. 30 minutes only. Every day, just 35 minutes. We have completed so many things, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yes, thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you very much for all of your association. Right? yes, let us learn this. ప్రభు మీరు చెప్పారు కదా ఇది చేద్దామా, ఏమంటారు?
That's what I'm thinking, Prabhuji. Shall we do the new one or shall we do this? Because ఇది లాస్ట్ లో ప్రాక్టీస్ చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాం. లాస్ట్ లో ఇంకా 5 శ్లోకాస్ ఉన్నాయి ఇందులో. అవన్నీ లాస్ట్ లో ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసి we will go to one new verse today, Prabhuji.
ఏం ప్రభుజీ?
We will go for the new verse, Prabhuji. New tune, I mean to say. ఇది వద్దు ప్రభుజీ, తర్వాత లాస్ట్ లో చేద్దాం.
అంటే ఈ ట్యూన్ లోనే సెట్ అవుతుంది అన్నారు కదా,
సెట్ అవుద్ది. I want them to practice by their own thing and let me know how they are doing it. అర్థమైందా ప్రభుజీ? It's a homework for them. Let them tune that whole shlokas and tell me how they are tuning it.
ఆల్రెడీ ఆ శ్లోకాలు తెలుసు కాబట్టి ఇవి కూడా చేసుకోవచ్చు, కొత్తవి నేర్చుకుందాం అంటుంది.
ఓకే ఓకే, సో దట్ మీన్స్ ద సేమ్ ట్యూన్ అండ్ రైట్. ఒకసారి ట్రై చేద్దాం, ఒకసారి ట్రై చేసి అడుగుదాం.
You people try, I will listen and I will correct if it is like that.
Okay, let me do it. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ ఇది నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేసి వస్తుందేమో, రైట్. తత్తేను కంపాం సుసమీక్షమానో భూంజానయేవాత్మ కృతం విపాకం రుద్వాగ్వపుర్భిర్విదధన్ నమస్తే జీవేత యో ముక్తిపదే సదాయ భాగ్ నివృత్తతర్షైరుపగీయమానాద్ భవౌషధచోత్రమనోభిరామాద్ కౌత్తమ శ్లోక గుణానువాదాత్ పుమాన్ విరజ్యేత వినా పశుఘ్నాత్ సవైమన కృష్ణ పదారవిందయో వాచాంసి వైకుంఠ గుణానువర్ణనే కరౌ హరేర్మందిరమార్జనాదీషు శృతిం శృతిం చకారాచ్యుత సత్ కథోదయే ముకుందలింగాలయ దర్శనే దర్శౌ తద్భృత్య గాత్ర స్పర్శంగ సంగమం.
తద్భృత్య గాత్ర స్పర్శేంగ సంగమం
ఘ్రాణం చ తత్పాద సరోజ సౌరభే శ్రీమత్తులస్యారసానాం తదార్పితే పదౌ హరే క్షేత్ర పదానుసర్పణే పాదౌ హరే క్షేత్ర పదానుసర్పణే.
కొంచెం స్లోగా వెళ్ళండి, చాలు అయిపోయింది. మీరు వచ్చేసింది మొత్తం స్లో అవ్వండి, కొంచెం స్లో అవ్వండి, చాలు. ఫాస్ట్ గా వెళ్తున్నారు, సో ఇదే అవ్వట్లేదు.
ఓకే ఓకే. పాదౌ హరే క్షేత్ర పదానుసర్పణే శిరో హృషికేశ పదానుభావందనే పదాభివందన. పదౌ హరే క్షేత్ర పదానుసర్పణే శిరో హృషికేశ పదాభివందనే కామం చ దాస్యేన తు కామకామ్యయా యతోత్తమ శ్లోక జనాశ్రయరతి.
Yes, Prabhuji, almost it's okay. Some here and there tweaks, you will get it within 1 or 2 study.
Okay.
Anyone else will try by reading the first shloka?
ఒక మాత ట్రై చేయండి, ఈ రెండుతో పాటు అది కూడా కవర్ అయిపోతుంది కదా, సేమ్ ట్యూన్ లా మొత్తం 5 అయిపోతాయి. చేయండి మాత, ఎవరన్నా హరిబోల్ హరిబోల్ హరిబోల్. హెల్ప్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్. Who else there? Sandhya Mataji, want to try?
I can try, Prabhuji, but I'm not sure.
It's okay, no problem. First 2 అయితే వచ్చాయి కదా మాతాజీ. అదే ఆ ట్యూన్ లోనే చదవండి.
తతేను కంపాం సుషమీక్షమానో భుంజాన ఏవాత్మకృతం విపాకం హృద్వాగ్వపుర్భిర్విదధన్నమస్తే జీవేతయో ముక్తిపదే సదాయ భాగ్ నివృత్తతర్షైరుపగీయమానాద్ భవోషధాత్ శ్రోత్రమనోభిరామాత్ గౌతమశ్లోకగుణానువాదాత్ పుమాన్ విరచేత వినా పశుఘ్నాత్ సవై మన కృష్ణ పద.
చేయండి, సేమ్ ట్యూనే.
మాతాజీ చెయ్యండి, తప్పులు ఇచ్చినా పర్వాలేదు, మనం తప్పుల కోసమే ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాం కదా. ప్రాక్టీస్ అవుతుంది మాత్రం, చేయండి ఏం కాదు.
హరే కృష్ణ మాధవి.
She got lost, Prabhuji, I guess.
Internet.
Yeah.
Ever sir, Lavan, you want to try?
We'll try. I need help, but I'll try. First two shlokas.
Not this one. First two teach.
तत्तेऽनुकम्पां सुसमीक्षमानो भुञ्जान एवात्मकृतं विपाकं हृत्वाग्वपुर्भिर्विदतं नमस्ते जीवेतयो मुक्तिपदे सदायभक् निवृत्ततर्षैरुपगीयमानात् भवौषधाश्रोत्रमनोभिरामात् कौत्तमश्लोकगुणानुवादात् पुमान् विरज्येत विना पशुघ्नात्.
Yes, next three, same one.
स वै मनः कृष्णपदारविन्दयोर् वाशां शिवैकुण्ठगुणानुवर्णने. Hare Krishna.
It's okay, you do it. Go ahead.
स वै मनः कृष्णपदारविन्दयोर् वाचां शिवैकुण्ठगुणानुवर्णने करौर्हरेर्मन्दिरमार्जनादिषु श्रुतिं चकाराच्युत
श्रुतिं चकराच्युत सत्कतोदये.
श्रुतिं चकराच्युत సత్కతోదయే.
ఏ పైన లైన్ ఉంది కదా ప్రభు,
అవదు ప్రభుజీ, అలా చేస్తే ట్యూన్ లో సెట్ అవుతుంది ప్రభుజీ. శృతిం చకారాచ్యుత సత్కతోదయే. ఎందుకంటే ముందు రెండు కొంచెం ఫాస్ట్ గా చదివేశాం కదా, సేమ్ అందులో కరెక్ట్ గా చేయదు, కానీ ఇది స్లోగా చేయాలంతే, అప్పుడు సెట్ అవుతుంది. ఆవిడ పాడే ఫాస్ట్ కి ఇది సెట్ అవ్వదు మరి, అక్కడ కొంచెం స్లోగా పాడాలన్నమాట. శృతిం చకారాచ్యుత సత్కతోదయే.
రైట్.
శృతిం
శృతిం చకారాచ్యుత సత్కతోదయే.
శృతిం చకారాచ్యుత సత్కతోదయే. ముకుందలింగాలయ దర్శనే దృశౌ తద్నృత్య గాత్రా స్పర్శేంగ సంగమం గ్రానం చ తత్పాద సరోజ సౌరభే శ్రీమత్ తులస్యారసానాం త అర్పితే. పాదౌ హరే క్షేత్ర పదానుసర్పణే శిరో హృషికేశ పదాభివందనే. కామం సదాస్యానుక్తు కామం చ దాస్యేన తు కామకామయా యతోత్తమ శ్లోక జనాశ్రయరతి. సారీ
లావణ్య మాతాజీ, చిన్నది ఏంటంటే కామం చ దాస్యే, అక్కడ స్లో అవ్వండి మాత్రం, మళ్ళీ స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి చేయండి. కామం చ అంటే ఆల్రెడీ కంటిన్యూ అయిపోతున్నారు. కామం చ దాస్యే నతు కామకామ్యయే. అర్థమైందా మాతాజీ? నేను ఒక్కసారి చదువుతాను, మళ్ళీ మీరు చూడండి, వినండి. పాదౌ హరి క్షేత్ర పాదానుసర్పణే శిరో హృషికేశ పాదాభివందనే. కామం చ దాస్యే నతు కామకామ్యయా యథోత్తమ శ్లోక జనాశ్రయారతి. అర్థమైందా మాతాజీ? ఏమన్నా కొంచెం థర్డ్ లైన్ కొంచెం మళ్ళీ స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి.
జస్ట్ సారీ టు ఇంటరప్ట్ ప్రభు.
సారీ బ్రో, నేను పాదాను అంటున్నా కదా, పదాను, ఐఎమ్ సారీ.
పదానుసర్పణే పదాభివందనే. ఓకే, గో హెడ్.
సారీ బ్రో, నేను పాద అయిపోయింది.
ఇట్స్ ఓకే.
పాదౌ హరే క్షేత్ర పదానుసర్పణే శిరో హృషికేశ పదాభివందనే. తర్వాత
కామం
కామం చ దాసేన తు కామ కామయ యతోత్తమ శ్లోక జనాశ్రయారతి. పదౌ హరే క్షేత్ర పాదౌ హరే క్షేత్ర పదానుసర్పణే శిరో హృషికేశ పదాభివందనే. కామం చ దాసేన తు కామ కామయ యతోత్తమ శ్లోక జనాశ్రయారతి.
ఓకే మాతాజీ.
సంధ్యామాత, యు వాంట్ టు?
I will try, Prabhuji.
ప్రభు రేపు నేర్చుకుందాం ప్రభు కొత్తది. మాత
యో ఓకే ప్రభు, నో ఇష్యూస్. వాట్ ఎవర్ పీపుల్ సే.
yes, ఎందుకంటే టైం అవుతుంది. 9
3 ఉన్నాయి కదా, కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతుంది. yes
చేస్తారా మాత? మళ్ళీ ఫస్ట్ నుంచి చేస్తారా లేకపోతే చేస్తారా?
ఫస్ట్ నుంచి చేస్తాను ప్రభు, ట్రై చేస్తాను. ట్యూన్ అర్థం చేసుకుని.
చేయండి.
తతేను కంపాం సుషమీక్షమాను భుంజానైవాత్మకృతం విపాకం హృద్వాగ్వపుర్భిర్విదదన్నమస్తే జీవేతయో ముక్తిపదే సదాయ భాక్. నివృత్తతర్షైరుపగీయమానాత్ భవోషదాక్షోత్రమనోభిరామాత్ కౌత్తమశ్లోకగుణానువాదాత్ పుమాన్ విరచేత వినా పశుఘ్నాత్.
నేను చెప్తాను మాతాజీ, మీరు ట్రై చేయండి. సవై మన కృష్ణ అట్లా.
సవై మన కృష్ణ పదారవిందయోర్ వచస్మి వైకుంఠ గుణానువర్ణనే. కరౌ హరేర్మందిర
అట్లా.
కరౌ హరే మందిర మార్జానదిషు శృతి.
కరౌ హరేర్మందిరమార్జనాదిషు.
కరౌ హరేర్మందిరమార్జనదిషు శృతిం
చకారాచ్యుత సత్కతోదయే. అందుకే మాతాజీ యాక్చువల్లీ మనం ఫస్ట్ అది వర్డ్స్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలన్నమాట. అంటే నేను ఇది ఎందుకు చెప్తున్నానంటే మీకు అట్లీస్ట్ ఎక్కడ విడగొట్టాలి, ఎక్కడ కలపాలని తెలియాలి. అందుకని మిమ్మల్ని ట్రై చేయమంటున్నాను అంతే. సరేనా? చేయండి మాతాజీ, గోయింగ్ హెడ్ ఇన్ గుడ్ వే. గోయింగ్, ప్లీజ్ గో.
శృతిం చకారాచ్యుత సత్కతోదయే.
శృతిం చకారాచ్యుత సత్కతోదయే.
శృతిం చకారాచ్యుత సత్కతోదయే.
అంతే మరి, మొత్తం ఒకసారి చదవండి మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి.
శవై మన కృష్ణ పదారవిందయ.
నో. సవై మన కృష్ణ పాదారవిందయ.
శవై మన కృష్ణ పదారవిందయోర్ వచస్మి వైకుంఠ గుణానువర్ణనే. కరౌ హరేర్మందిరం వ్రజానదీషు శృతిం చకారాచ్యుత సత్కతాదయో. సారీ ప్రభుజీ, రావట్లేదు.
నో ఇష్యూస్ మాతాజీ. I will what I do is I will say you one time and you repeat after me. Okay, one line. You ఒక్కటి చేసాక we will wrap up. It's already 9:05 na, so
okay sir.
Then tomorrow others will practice after you.
Okay.
సవై మన కృష్ణ పాదారవిందయో.
సవై మన కృష్ణ పాదారవిందయోర్
సవై మన కృష్ణ పాదార విందయో.
సవై మన కృష్ణ పదార విందయోర్.
మీరు ఒకసారి అది గుర్తు చేసుకోండి మరి. తత్తేను కంపాం సుసమీక్షమానం. ఇప్పుడు సవై మన కృష్ణ ఉంది, ఒకసారి అది గుర్తు చేసుకోండి మళ్ళీ.
సవై మన కృష్ణ పదార విందయోర్.
ఎస్. వచాంసి వైకుంఠ గుణానువర్ణ.
వచాంసి వైకుంఠ గుణానువర్ణనే.
కరౌ హరిర్మందిరమార్జనాదిషు.
కరౌ హరిర్మందిరమార్జని కరౌ హరిర్మందిరమార్జనాదిషు.
శృతిం చకారాచ్యుత సత్కతోదయే.
శృతిం చకారాచ్యుత సత్కతోదయే.
Prabhuji, I think we will wrap up today. Is it okay? Giriraj, no? It's already 9:10. So practice will be done tomorrow from here.
పని చేస్తారా ప్రభు?
చెప్పండి.
ఈ 3 శ్లోకాలది వాయిస్ ప్రింట్ పెట్టండి ప్రభు.
యా ఐ విల్ డు. అంటే వాళ్ళు చేస్తారని ప్రభుజీ, నేను వాయిస్ ప్రింట్ పెట్టను. లెట్ దెమ్ ట్రై. ఎందుకంటే ఎక్కడ పడగొట్టాలి ఎక్కడ విడగొట్టాలని తెలుస్తుంది వాళ్ళకి.
ఓకే ఓకే ఆల్రెడీ సేమ్ ట్యూన్ కాబట్టి దట్స్ ఎక్సర్సైజ్ లాగా ఉంటుంది.
వాళ్ళకి వాళ్ళు ట్రై చేసుకోవాలి యాక్చువల్లీ. ఎందుకంటే దిస్ ఇస్ ద మోస్ట్ యూజ్డ్ భాగవత శ్లోక, భాగవత ట్యూన్.
ఓకే
లెట్ దెమ్ గెట్ వాట్ ఇస్ ప్రాక్టీస్ ఇన్ దిస్. దట్స్ వాట్ ఐ మీన్. అండ్ వి ఆర్ దేర్ నా. See, we are not here to see who is doing good, who is doing bad. We are here to make them learn. But that's it.
ఆ ట్యూన్ సేమ్ ట్యూన్ ఒక్కసారి ఆ 2 ట్యూన్లు మళ్ళీ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే ఇది ఆటోమేటిక్ వస్తుంది. కాకపోతే వర్డ్ బై వర్డ్ ఒకసారి చూసుకుంటే అయిపోతుంది.
చూసుకోవాలి సరిగ్గా.
అంతే వర్డ్ బై వర్డ్ ఒకసారి చూసుకుంటే అయిపోతుంది. అందరికి పీడిఎఫ్ ఉంది కదా గ్రూప్ లో, అది చూసుకోండి ఒకసారి. జస్ట్ ప్రాక్టీస్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్. ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసి పెట్టండి మాత. దట్స్ బెటర్. తప్పులైనా వచ్చు, విల్ కరెక్ట్ అవర్ రిజల్ట్స్.
ఓకే ఫ్రెండ్స్,
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. వాంఛాకల్పతరుభ్యశ్చ కృపా సింధుభ్యైవ చ పతితానాం పావనేభ్యో వైష్ణవేభ్యో నమో నమః. అనంతకోటి వైష్ణవ వృందకి జై. శ్రీల ప్రభుపాదికి జై. శ్రీల గురుదేవ్ కి జై. నితాయ్ గౌర హరి ప్రేమానందే. కృష్ణ కాన్షియస్ హ్యాపీ కృష్ణ